Hey YouTube, just wanted to do a quick video over the new Meprolight Tru-Dot RDS sight that has recently hit the shores from Israel. This one here is listed as a premium edition. I believe the first 1,000 are going to be premium editions, and of those 1,000, the first 400 or so are going to have the aluminum hood versus the polymer. I've come to understand that the polymer hood was actually tested to mil-spec testing and passed, so it's not that much of a difference to get the polymer hood, but I did want to get a hold of a aluminum hood. Just figured it'd be kind of a nice thing to have. Here's what is included with this particular setup, or excuse me, what's on the box. We have a brush here and a microfiber cloth, and here's a dust cover. It just kind of slips over the top. Here's the instruction manual. We'll have it open to the technical data here. You can kind of see some of the information. It doesn't include the battery life, but I've come to understand that the battery life is about 1.5 years left on, anywhere up to, I've seen up as high as about 2 years. Of course, that doesn't include the fact that it has an auto-off feature that quickly can be sprung back to life by just slight movement, so it would last even longer then. I don't know if it would outlast a T1, but it would be comparable. It's definitely way better than the EOTech I have down here. So the dot is listed here as a 2 MOA dot. I believe it's actually a 1.8. Here's a quick comparison between a couple different red dot sights. Have the aimpoint T1 down here. This one's just sporting a Tango down cover, so it hasn't been painted or anything like that. You can see the covers here. Here's the EOTech XPS2. Here's the Meprolight itself. And here's the aimpoint M4. You can see here the aluminum hood. Here's a quick look at the dots. Well, actually, before we get there, you can see there's a Tavor in the background. This is, in fact, unloaded. And there's an XCO in the background as well, and it is also unloaded. See that one there? And no magazine. So here's a quick comparison of the dots. We have the T1 at setting 8. We have the XPS2 at about a medium setting or so. Here is the Meprolight. It's actually at the middle setting. It's kind of nice. It starts from the top as off, and then 1 is actually the highest setting. That's kind of all opposite of what the other manufacturers are kind of doing right now. Most of them start from off, they actually go to the lowest setting, but it's kind of nice in a situation to be able to go to automatically on if you have it, you know, up on a gun safe or stored away somewhere at night. So I like the medium setting, which is what it was on currently. And then here's the low setting, which I believe is pretty close to the aimpoint T1's medium setting, or setting 8, which is what I typically like to leave it on. Down here we have the M4, and it's on about a medium setting. I believe it's setting 6 of the settings that are actually visible. Bring this one back up. And again, just a real quick overview of the different settings. We have 0 off, 1 is on, 2 is medium, 3 is low, and then 4 of course being the night vision. You have to get the PVS out for that to test that out, but it'd be definitely worth a try. So here's the other Meprolight. I was able to get a hold of it too. And here's the other Meprolight here, and it is on the Tavor. It actually fits on the rail. On the back here you have the integrated backup sights, the integrated front sight. This is a CQBL1 Laser Devices laser and a Surefire light. I like that laser because it works out well in Tavor, because it actually allows, even though that there's a very low height on that CQBL1 laser, because the backup sights are integrated, you can see over it just fine. Of course, if I had a regular height backup sight, then it would probably, regular M4 backup sights, iron sights, it would probably get in the way. I've tested the very slight movement. All it really takes is just movement. It's just as simple as something like this with the handle. I may test that out later before I post this video. So here you can see, I can get it in view. And it does absolutely co-witness with the backups. So I'll bring it down here. This is going to be, I lost my QD swivel up front, so it's not laying as nicely as it was before. So hopefully I can lace all these videos together, put my video editing to the test. I really don't have any experience with that, so we'll see how that goes. Here's another quick look at the Meprolight RDS by itself. Some people worried about these screws possibly snagging. They do stick out a bit. I can't imagine they would snag on anything. On the Tavor you can see they stick out, but really they don't really protrude much over even the rail there. So I mean, I doubt they'll openly snag on stuff, but I guess crazier things have happened. I had to tighten those up to get the QD levers to work properly, out being loose and in being the tight or closed position. I do mark the Premier Edition and with the serial number. Really nothing crazy about the back there. There's the knob with a white dot to indicate of the settings 0 through 4. I don't think that's going to autofocus, but there's 0 through 4 settings there. Again, 0, 1 being high, 2 medium, 3 low, and 4 night vision. On the top here you have your elevation. Again, not focusing, but it has up and clockwise. And on the, can't see it here, on this side you have right and counterclockwise for your windage. And then here's your battery compartment. I guess I don't recall, but there might be, I don't know what the water, excuse me, while I'm using a phone to record is not ideal. But let me go ahead and undo this battery compartment. See if there's, I don't recall if there was a kind of O-ring or whatever in there to help keep it watertight. Doing this one-handed for the most part here. You know, there's not really, doesn't appear to be any kind, oh, there's a seal there. So it may be watertight. It doesn't really indicate that. It just does come with a Energizer Industrial battery, sorry. So just one battery. Place that in there and close it up and you're good to go. Again, that does come, the battery does come with the sight. And I think at that price point, it's probably one of the best. The reason I chose these sights, I think the Aimpoint T1 is probably the industry best. Of course, people will say that's argumentative, but the Aimpoint T1 probably definitely one of the best in the industry. And then the other two, sorry I put the M4 back, but the other M4 you can find easily online, used, if not new, possibly about the same price as the under $400 price point that the Meprolight's at. And then the EOTech is also, it's a little bit more as well. This price point is closer to the 512, which I don't have. And I believe the 512 is actually a little bit longer. I guess if you took into account the slight layover here of the battery cover, it may not be longer. I'm waiting for this sight to go off, so I may have to wait a little bit longer. Yeah, I was trying to show that the backup sights co-witness, but they do co-witness with the Tavor because the Tavor does have fairly high sights, but they will pretty much a 1/3 or a lower 1/3 co-witness with regular M4 iron sights. So let me give this sight another few minutes. It appears to take at least 20, if not about 30 minutes for the sight to actually turn off with the auto off feature. So let me give that a few more minutes and give that a try before I put this all together. Alright, so this part's going to be a little bit challenging. But I pulled out the PVS-14, and here is the Meprolight, and yeah, some baby formula in the background. Anyways, so I pulled out the Meprolight on setting 4, and you can see it here. That is the dot. Looks kind of like the moon in there, but that is in fact it. Give me a second here. I can actually turn it off, and then you'll notice that is gone. So that was the dot. It's really large, but even then, most of the time when I'm using night vision, it's definitely best to use a laser. But if anyone wanted to see it, there's the dot. I'm still waiting for the other sight to turn off and stay off, so I can go ahead and give that motion sensor a test. Okay, so the optic is finally turned off, and before I do this, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch the video. There we go, got it to focus. Just want to try to give back to the online YouTube and firearms community that I like to watch, like Mac, like Military Arms Channel, Tim over there at Military Arms Channel, and Mr. Guns and Gear, Haycock 45, a bunch of the folks out there. I would appreciate any constructive feedback y'all might have. All others need not apply. Those, especially those people that are, you know, online professional guys that think they know everything. So here we go. I'm just going to go use my right hand here to gently tap the bud of the Tavor, and if I keep this Lysol soap in frame, it should come right on. There it is. So just a gentle tap. I mean, couldn't even hear it. You should have heard the swivel link there drag on the granite there, but you didn't, because it just takes little to no pressure, and that thing pops right back to life. So go ahead and upload this to YouTube, and thanks again everybody for taking the time to watch my video.